Okay, now we're talking about transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For any transaction to be successful, the beneficiary and the creditor must have a written agreement on the paper. Never you do verbal agreement.
Yeah. You mean for every transaction there has to be written agreement?
Straight up.
So if I want to pay for my drinks at a bar, or I pay for my foodstuff and other items, it's a transaction.
Once
what
you
kind of
pick up-
transaction are you talking about?
Once you pick up a receipt, the transaction is already imputed on the receipt. That's a transaction.
Such as electronics and even big investments like landed property or buying a vehicle, we need to really take the transaction seriously. You have to get the proof so that we don't get into
All kinds
challenges.
All kinds of drama.
All kinds of drama.
Word. So anything you do, there's a transaction. You have to have a proof for it, and especially when you're doing multi-million money transaction, you find out that don't take it for granted. Don't take it for friendship. Many people do transaction and think he's my friend. There's no friend in transaction. That's why it's called transaction, and that's why friendship is called friendship. They didn't say friendship for transaction and transaction for friendship. So when you're doing transaction, respect the transaction. One of the benefits of getting a receipt in transaction is that you can do a cashback. In most countries, the receipt is used for a VAT return.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have a receipt. Any transaction that has to be successful has to be documented, written, agreed, typed, proof. That's the advice. So the creditor must have a written agreement on paper. Never you do verbal agreement.
Yes. No. I'm personally guilty of sometimes walking away from a transaction or leaving it leaving it on a verbal basis. But you've actually thrown a lot of light on this now. I have to think about that.
So keep your transaction simple. Always say no to wrong transaction.
Yes.
Don't be shy to say, hey, I need more time
Yes.
to do a transaction, or I need proof, or I need that. Because the earlier you make yourself clear on a transaction, the less headache you get.
Always.
Word.
Sure.
Word.